Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome to Bad in Theater. Oh my goodness, so this game came out, I want to say 2 to 3 years ago. So apparently there's blood, gore, violence, and strong language, which is excellent. And we get to choose a protagonist. And apparently there's like over 40 endings, and they're all bad according to the description. Most of them are bad, so let's see how it goes. I'm excited. This looks like it's gonna be super fun and really funny. Welcome to Bad in Theater. On this stage, we shall be toying with fate. You will make many choices, unlocking darker and darker paths, all in order to witness a lovely variety of tragic events. Keyword tragic. But first, allow me to explain how it works. To begin the tutorial, select whichever doll you would like. Oh ho ho, a human doll or a demon doll? Demon doll. You control the demon doll. You're a fierce-looking guy, just minding your own business. How you interact with the human doll? Well, most people would attack it, I feel like, because I'm a demon, so we're gonna be the opposite. We're gonna play nice. Wait! You try to make friends with the human doll, but it kills you in cold blood? How ruthless. Wait! But I was nice! Why? You found your very first bad ending, but don't worry, the story does not end here. Let's reset the stage and try again. This time, try controlling the other doll. Fine. He's not friendly. No, he's not friendly. I'm attacking it. Fuck you. You kill the demon doll this time, and it doesn't resist. That's what you get. This is all because you chose to play nice in the first round. Are the mechanics becoming clear? That is so cool that it saves, so everything that we do, it'll affect the whole game. I like that. Now that you know how the story goes, you can set the doll's behavior in advance. As you just saw, these behaviors will automatically be set to what you chose during your last playthrough. But now you can turn each one on or off without having to replay from that doll's perspective. Yes, my theater actually doubles as a puzzle game. Now try turning the doll's behaviors on and off to see the different outcomes. Now if both of them are nice, let's see, then we can just be nice, right? Yeah, there we go. You and the demon doll are able to set aside your differences and become friends. End tutorial. Do you understand how to play? Yes, absolutely. This game saves your progress automatically, so just relax and collect all the bad endings at your own pace. Oh, I'm so excited. This game sounds like it's gonna be so much fun. Now, without further ado, let's start the show. Let's see, we can be the maiden, the hero, the underling, or the overlord. I kind of want to be the maiden. She's really cute. I want to be the little maiden. You are a maiden. You live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon overlord's castle. You are told that you are fated to be captured by the overlord one day. Because you are a beautiful young girl, demon overlords apparently love capturing those. Oh, well, that's not very nice. You think of how you haven't heard of that actually happening to anyone, but maybe the demons just haven't been given the opportunity. Who knows? You are in church. You pray to your God, asking why you have been born into this role of maiden. Why? Why, Lord? Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what the point of it is. You are impatient. I am impatient. I chose the right character. Meeting a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. Maybe you'd understand your role better if you were to just hurry up and get captured already. You leave a note. If I would just hurry up and get captured. You leave a note and venture forth to find a demon, just to, see what happens. This is how I play games. Let's just see what happens. Not long into your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you, and it looks pretty scary. Let's see, shout for a hero to come save you or introduce yourself. Introduce myself. I mean, we chose this. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. The demon suddenly jumps you and starts biting. A lot. How painful. Ow! This plan of yours was completely stupid, you think? Why couldn't you have been more patient? Why did you go looking for trouble? You aren't angry or anything, of course. This was all your fault for trusting a demon not to devour you on sight. This is your punishment for questioning fate, you guess. Bit by bit, you are swallowed by the demon until you are no more. Ba-da-da-dun. Consumed maiden end. All right, reset the stage. We're gonna try again. I want to be the maiden again. What happens if we don't do that? Okay, we're a maiden. We've already read all this. Okay, we pray to our god, and then we venture out. Here we go. Okay. Shout for a hero to come save you. You yell, but a hero does not come. The demon suddenly jumps you and starts biting a lot, so either way, you die. Wait. What? What? No. Okay, reset the stage. Let's be the underling this time. We're gonna be the demon. You are a demon underling in service of the Overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way here to challenge the Overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place and staring into nothing. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. She gives you an earful about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. You wait for her to finish her lecture before returning to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her the boss of everyone? You complain about the Overlord to your friends. They agree that she is kind of a snob and totally deserves to be kicked off her throne. Oh, we're gonna give her the boot. You only wanted to vent your frustrations, but the conversation somehow turned into an assassination plot. You should probably steer this in a responsible direction. Let's overthrow her. Oh, let's do it. No, you're sick of this. Overlord holding you and your friends back. You agree that it's time for a change of management. Your friends suggest maybe you should be the new Overlord. You like the sound of that. You announce your first act of rebellion is to take that day off like you wanted. Your friends aren't very impressed. You assure them you'll talk more about the assassination thing when you get back, which satisfies them. You sneak out of the castle to have some fun. Yippee! The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She seems very frightened and screams for a hero to come save her. You consider your options, gobble her up or tell her to quit yelling. When the maiden realizes you're not going to hurt her, she regains her composure. Now she started talking to you like your friends or something. You don't understand humans at all. You speak the same language, of course, which has always confused you because why is there conveniently only one language in the world? If demons and humans have independent societies, wouldn't it make sense for them to each have their own language? The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. The bottom line from what you gather is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. The Overlord asks where you found this maiden, knowing full well that you left the castle when you weren't supposed to. You apologize for disobeying her, but hope that the maiden is an interesting enough present and that you may be forgiven. The Overlord nods and says everything's cool as long as you always listen to her from now on. Oh, so the Overlord is nice. You're impressed with what an easygoing boss she is. You mention how you can't believe you and your friends even considered overthrowing her. No, don't say that! Why? No! She gives you a look and you say, that was just a joke. Of course. She smiles and dismisses you. You decide it's time for a nap. After a few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. You emerge from your room to find that a hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk. Avenge your fallen comrades or save yourselves. We gotta save our friends. Who does this guy think he is, coming in here and killing everyone like some maniac? What did we ever do to him? You lunge at him while he's busy driving his horn to the guard who sometimes brought you food whenever they noticed you were feeling kinda down. You liked that guard. You wish with all your demon heart for this hero to suffer for his deeds. You bite into him, tearing flesh from bone. It tastes like iron. The hero struggles. You feel his sword go through you, but there is no pain, only retribution. More of your comrades pile onto him as your consciousness fades. The hero is overtaken, and your army is won. You have earned your rest. Victorious underling end. Hey, we got a good end. All right. Reset the stage. Let's be the Overlord now. You are the Overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think. Except for those pesky humans keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called Hero, whose whole purpose in life is just to dethrone you. What's their deal anyway? You actively avoided pissing off the humans in hopes they'll leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to the whole overlord thing, if you're being quite honest with yourself. You don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into being the evil overlord they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to the higher standard like that. One of your underlings walks into the room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. They're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one ever comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? Tell them to get back to work or grant them the day off? Why not? You tell them to go take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a little while. Being the overlord sure is great. You awake to a knock on your door. The underling from earlier brought back some company. It's a maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. Oh my god, she really wanted to be captured. The maiden then goes on to say that she's been getting very important thinking about her impending capture, so she's come here to speed things along. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her you never had any plans to capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. Perhaps I'm not performing my role well enough. How can I become more maiden-like? You don't really understand the question. You think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists that she stay and talk to you more. You feel warm inside as she looks into your eyes. This is the first time a human has looked at you without contempt. You wonder what to say. Tell her she'd better go home, let her stay for a while. Let's be friends. Why not? You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away. She just got here. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses her surprise that demons are not at all what she expected them to be. You are glad that she seems to have an open mind about these kind of things. You also bring up how you always instruct your army to avoid humans as not to agitate them and get heroes sent out after you. That explains why the people of my village have been left unharmed. It's because of your orders, isn't it? We are very grateful. You're surprised to hear her thank you. You've always thought of humans to be violent and unreasonable. That's why your servants are always getting killed, despite your efforts to leave them alone. But this maiden is different. You joke that maybe you've been lying to her this whole time and that you were actually super evil all along. The maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. The people in her village are a little exhausting at times, she says. You can't tell if she's into you or not. You notice the sounds of battle have started ringing through your castle halls. The maiden is getting nervous, but you reassure her it's only your underlings roughhousing, no big deal. You know it's probably a hero, but you don't want to upset the maiden by telling her that. Your army will take care of it. It isn't long before the hero bursts into the room. But he shouldn't have made it here. Why didn't they stop him? The hero just stands there unsure of himself. He is covered in demon blood. As the maiden speaks to him, trying to explain the situation, you move past the hero and out the door. You're not thinking clearly. Seeing your servants' bodies in pieces all strewn about your castle has really taken it out on you. That hero did this. There's so much blood. Why did he come for the maiden? Did he think she needed rescuing? There was no one for this hero to save here. There was never any harm meant to anyone. You were just talking to her. Why has it turned out like this? The hero starts babbling insincere apologies and excuses, realizing his wrongdoing. But you are far beyond hearing that kind of bullshit. You have had it with these humans always murdering your servants for no reason. You can no longer hold yourself back and lash out at the hero. When you regain control, there is nothing left of the hero. The maiden has fled in terror. You are alone. Wrathful Overlord and that was pretty cool. I kind of want to do that one again, but we're gonna send the maiden home this time. So let's see, same thing. So we're gonna grant him the day off. Okay, maiden is here. Okay, we're gonna say she better go home and see what happens. You'd love to have all the conversations of the world with your new friend, but having a human girl here will definitely cause trouble. You put on your mean face and tell her to get lost. But the maiden turns out to be very stubborn. You don't want to hurt her, but also really want her to leave in case something bad happens. This whole situation is just asking for trouble, you think. Against your better judgment, you let her hang out for a little while longer. Oh, okay, so either way, she stays, and then it's probably the same ending. Yeah, I think it's gonna be the same ending. Okay, so this was the same ending. Since we made the underling kind, they all seem to be kind. We gotta do the hero story now. We gotta make the hero kind too. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures, fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You are told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped and is likely being held captive at the nearby demon overlord's castle. Who even puts a village right next to where an entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. You're happy to protect the townspeople, though. You were born to play this role. You head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden, but demon soldiers block your path. You could kill them to gain experience. Let's see... Alright. Oh, but if we flee... Wait, but if we flee, then everything's fine. We're gonna flee like a coward. Forgetting your pride, you escape with your life. But you can't return home now. Your reputation will be ruined. You wonder how you'll ever be able to rescue that maiden all on your own if you can't even fight some lousy demon underlings. You'll take your chances at the castle. You're a hero after all. This is your job. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. You are faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. Head through the demon army, ask if they'll let you in. We're gonna ask. You go up to the nearest demon and explain why you've come. They stare you down and you feel very uncomfortable. But they seem to trust you and escort you directly to the Overlord's chambers. That was easy. Okay. The Overlord and Maiden seem to be in the middle of some casual conversation when you barge in. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. Destroy the Overlord or ask the Maiden what's going on. The Maiden explains that she was never actually captured and that she came here on her own violation. That was a pretty dangerous thing of her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least there's that. You ask her to return to town with you to reassure everyone of her safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you casually exit the castle. You try to make the conversation with the Maiden, but she's pretty quiet since leaving the Overlord's room. Is she shy? She suddenly stops in her tracks, and you turn your head to ask what the deal is. Oh, the Overlord's castle is engulfed in flames! You can't help but feel relieved you got the Maiden out of there when you did, but she suddenly takes off toward the burning castle. Panic sets in, and you follow her to try to stop her. The smoke is so thick, you've already lost sight of her. What is she thinking? It's too dangerous to continue. You feel hopeless. You stand alone at the castle's gates. Your body won't allow you to take another step forward. No, going in there would be suicide. You return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The Maiden was claimed by the demons. Bystander hero end. Man, I really thought that would have made them all friends. Well, now I kind of want to be... Who do we want to be? The underling again? I want to see why it caught fire. You are a demon underling in service of the Overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak. That's what your friends tell you. I think we've read all this. Let's see. Yep, he's bored of his job. We've read this. Let's see. Let's overthrow her. Let's not. Let's not overthrow her. You tell your friends you were totally not serious about this whole thing. You're actually cool with the status quo. After all, life must be pretty dang good if the only thing you have to complain about is that you live so comfortably. There's nothing to do. The others nod but don't seem convinced. You say a coup d'etat would be more effort than it's worth. I definitely did not say that right. But you're still gonna be a rebel and sneak out of the castle. Your friends praise your mischievous ways. The change of atmosphere excites you, so we still meet the Maiden. Okay. We become friends. I'm trying to get like a really good ending. Okay, Overlord is not mad. And we changed the hero too, so hopefully he doesn't do anything either. Okay, you don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up. Rude. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard. You ask them what the deal is. They say they're planning a whole revolution. They're gonna get rid of the current Overlord and put a new ruler in her place. They want to hear if you're in or not. And being a pretty lazy underling, you of course reply with, "That sounds like a lot of trouble. How about we just skip it instead?" Your friends question your loyalty to their course. Okay, let's kill the Overlord. She's actually not so bad, you guys. Your friends seem pretty disappointed. They apologize to you, but before you can ask what they're sorry about, one of them suddenly seizes you. Someone who's still loyal to the Overlord really has no place in our castle. You understand, right? Their claws tighten around your neck. You don't bother to struggle. You're outnumbered. You already know how things like how this will end. This is a pretty messed up thing to do to a friend, you tell them. They slit your throat in response. What? What? So her own people turned on her. Oh my God. All right, we're gonna be the Overlord now. Maybe the Overlord, maybe she can stop it. Let's see if she can stop it. I'm trying so hard to get a good ending. Why is this so hard? Tell them to get back to work. Get back to work, you lousy, lazy servant. Okay, we become friends with the human. Blah, 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 blah. I told the human to go home. Of course, she doesn't listen. We're friends. Hopefully the hero doesn't kill me. Okay, you're interrupted by another human in your doorway. This time it's a hero. He was apparently searching for the maiden who was rumored to have been captured by your kind. Captured? Not at all. I only wanted to meet with the Overlord. Didn't anyone read the note I left behind? After everything is explained, the hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart. You're surprised that you had one of those to begin with. You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. Keep her here. Let them go. Keep her here. The maiden came here to be captured by you, didn't she? You'll grant her wish. You tell the hero you won't let him take her home. The maiden assures you she'll be back, but you don't budge. The hero is cautious now. No! If you won't let her go, maybe your demons are evil after all. And if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You have no choice. You destroy the hero before he can steal your maiden away. She's frightened. You don't understand why. Didn't she say she prefers this place to her village? Now she doesn't have to leave. You take a step toward the maiden and she backs herself into a corner. You don't understand. She wanted to stay here with you. The hero was trying to get in the way of that. You had to kill him. You'll be sure to keep this maiden very safe from now on. Selfish Overlord end. All right. Reset the stage. What happens if we let him take her? Same thing, but we're gonna let him take her. We're almost there. All right, here's the hero. All right, let them go. You're certain that she'll return to spend more time with you. You just have to trust in that. You decide with the hero and the maiden gone. You plop down into the comfort of your luxurious Overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? You hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while, until your door slams shut. Before you know it, everything around you is being engulfed by flames. What's going on? You try to escape, but something's blocking the door. You're having trouble forcing it open. What is this? Someone didn't want you getting out. Are you being usurped? Are you being usurped? They have zero foresight. What castle will they rule from if this one burns? You don't want to believe that your underlings have betrayed you, but this is no accident. Those ungrateful bastards. You choke on the thick black smoke from the fire. You can't believe you're being done in by a bunch of cowards. You'll see them in hell. Okay, burned Overlord end. Oh my gosh, is there no like happy ending? What if we're the maiden again? Let's try being the maiden again. Maybe she can save us. Okay, we're the maiden. We're gonna pray to be captured. Okay, let's see. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. Let's see if it's better this time. The demon doesn't really seem to be listening to you, which is a little irritating. They agree to take you to their master nonetheless. After a long walk to the castle, you are introduced to the Overlord. She lectures the underling that brought you here, who was apparently told not to leave their post. You wonder what cruel punishment awaits them. But to your surprise, she lets them off easy. The underling is dismissed, and the Overlord turns to you looking very interested. You explain why you've come, and she squints at you. It turns out she never had any plans to capture maidens, or to do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, this doesn't make any sense to you. You've always been told that demons would one day seek you out, and something awful would happen. Then a hero would come to your rescue. You don't want to believe you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just that you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the Overlord what you should do to be a more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. He makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems like the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. You insist on staying to talk with her more. The Overlord tells you again that you should get lost. How rude. You just got here. Obey her or refuse to leave. Let's see. We're gonna obey her. Maybe that'll save her. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He asks you about what you're doing. Don't you know the Overlord's castle is, like, right there? You explain everything that happened. The hero seems to think you're lying to him. He asks if you've been brainwashed by the demons. What nerve. You are very upset that this so-called hero would treat you this way and leave in a huff. You return to the village alone. Everyone was very worried about you. They surround you with 1,000 questions, and you tell them your story. As you explain that the Overlord never had any intention to harm anyone here, you notice the looks of uncertainty in the crowd. People are whispering things to each other while you speak to them. You are loudly interrupted by an older man. He rudely calls you a demon sympathizer. The crowd is growing unruly. You don't understand. You've only told them the truth. Do they not believe you? Everyone begins speculating about what must have actually happened. They weave elaborate lies and ask you to prove your innocence. How could you have returned without the aid of a hero, they ask. You could not have possibly escaped the Overlord on your own without harm. You must be conspiring with the demons, trying to trick everyone into believing they aren't the horrible creatures we know them to be. So they say, have the people of your village always been this blinded by their fears and hatreds of things that they've never cared to know? You wonder how you missed that before. You are seized by the crowd and voices from all sides are calling for public execution. You are to be burned at the stake. Oh my God. You don't want to die. You wonder would have been better to hide the truth. You don't like the thought of that. You have always lived honestly, so why has this happened? Why are you being punished? You hear the dissenting voices of your family and neighbors, but they, like you, are powerless against the momentum. They can only watch as you burn, and you can only cry for them. You are so sorry. Executed maiden end. Oh my gosh. How do I not die? I don't know. The hero again? The hero? Alright, let's see. Bravely slaughter the evil creatures. Let's slay them. You make quick work to the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. On your way to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back toward the village. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking for rescue. You approach her with curiosity, and she runs from you for some reason. You wonder what that's all about, but then you remember you're covered in demon blood. Not wanting to look like you're a crazy person chasing after her or anything, you nonchalantly walk back to town. As you walk past the town square, you notice the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to a wooden stake. The crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise, and you stand idly by as flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. You decide to call it a day and return to your house, but you can't escape this sinking feeling. Maybe you weren't cut out for this role. Spectator heroine. All right. We're gonna see what happens if we don't slay the demons this time. All right, here we go. Demon soldiers block your path. You flee like a coward. Okay, so we flee. Then we go back. On your way, you find the maiden. Let's see. You approach her with curiosity. You ask the maiden what she's doing. Doesn't she know the Overlord's castle is like right there? The maiden explains that she spoke with the Overlord, and it turns out the demons never had any diabolical plans to harm her. Okay, believe her story. We're gonna believe her. You have no reason to assume she's lying to you, even though her story is kind of hard to believe. You feel you should trust her. You tell her you're pretty surprised that everyone has been wrong about demons all along. The townspeople must be informed of this immediately. The two of you return to the village. They had all been so worried. They praise you for your bravery. But the maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing she needed to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers look to you for explanation. You politely inform them this isn't your story to tell. You merely ran into her on the way to the castle. She explains that the Overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you again in disbelief. They aren't being subtle in how little they trust this maiden's story. You totally believed her, but to placate these fair citizens, you volunteer to speak to the demons personally, just in case. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You're too busy thinking what a great and reliable hero you are to hear what they're saying. The town's elder's voice breaks you out of your thoughts. He implores you to meet with the Overlord immediately and says they'll all keep an eye on the maiden until you return. You figure that sounds alright, but the mood is kind of intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You aren't sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running. Oh, you thought the two of you were in this together? Her actions have convinced a crowd that she's obviously been a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her and her demon friends down already, but that doesn't sound like a very heroic task. You can't help but feel these people are wrong. It's up to you to catch up to her and talk to the demons in order to clear up this misunderstanding. You valiantly dash after the maiden toward the Overlord's castle. The air becomes dark and thick as you enter deep into the demon territory. Evil miasma? No, you realize it's just normal smoke. You see the maiden ahead, but she's stopped in her tracks, the Overlord's castle engulfed in flames. You had only taken an eye off the maiden for a second, and she's already disappeared. You get closer to the castle, but the smoke is so thick now you think of turning back. The maiden might need your help, but you can barely see. She could be impossible to find. She could have been lying to you all along. Was this a trap? Would it be worth risking your life on that chance? Your legs feel heavy. No, going in there would be suicide. You return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The maiden was claimed by the demons. Still a bystander hero act, so that really didn't change anything, did it? Okay, I forgot that we can change like the stuff here, so maybe we need to start changing some stuff. So we're gonna make the Overlord a tyrant. We're gonna get rid of antisocial. We're gonna make her a tyrant. We're gonna make him hungry. We're gonna make the maiden obedient. And we're gonna make the hero heroic. And let's see what that changed. You are the Overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think? Except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of her army. There's even a role called Hero, whose whole purpose in life is just to dethrone you. What's their deal anyway? You've actively avoided pissing off the humans in hopes they'll leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to the whole Overlord thing. If you're being quite honest with yourself, you don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into being the evil Overlord they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to the higher standard like that. One of your underlings walks into your room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. They're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one ever comes here anyway. You see the point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? Tell them to get back to work? Tyrant. Yep. All right, back to work. You give them a lecture about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. Your servants ought to do what they're told, whether they like it or not. They look really unhappy with you, but you're sure they'll thank you for this later. Venturing too far from the castle tends to spell death. You dismiss the underling and lie down in your nice, comfy Overlord bed. All that lecturing made you want to take a nap. You fall asleep pretty quick, just another one of your amazing talents. You are awakened by one of your underlings. You are awakened by one of your underlings. They've brought you a hero who inquires about a missing maiden. You tell him you don't know anything. Humans never really visit this place. He believes you and goes home. To your surprise, you figured he might try to fight you, but you're glad to get back to your nap instead. Until you wake up to something completely unexpected. We still go down in flames. Why? Okay. We're gonna be the underling again. You are a demon underling in service of the Overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way here to challenge the Overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place, staring into nothing. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. She gives you an earful about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. You wait for her to finish her lecture before returning to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her the boss of everyone? You complain about the Overlord to your friends. They agree that she is kind of a snob and totally deserves to be kicked in her throne. You only wanted to vent your frustrations, but the conversation somehow turned into an assassination plot. You should probably steer this in a responsible direction. Let's overthrow her. No, you're sick of this Overlord holding you and your friends back. You agree that it's time for a change of management. Your friends suggest maybe you should be the new Overlord. You like the sound of that. You announce your first act of rebellion is to take that day off like you wanted. Your friends aren't very impressed. You were sure you'll talk more about the assassination thing when you get back, which satisfies them. You sneak out of the castle to have some fun. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She seems very frightened and screams for a hero to come save her. You consider your options. We're gonna gobble her up this time. We're hungry. Maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure you should live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. You start devouring the maiden without so much as a second thought and feel quite proud of that. Other humans would surely praise you with curses if they were around to see. Oh man, if only someone could have been watching. Time to find an audience for your evil deeds. You wander into the nearby village. The people are screaming and running away, throwing rocks at you and whatnot. You think that's pretty rude of them. You haven't even done anything yet. Let's see, change your mind and leave. Put on a show. You attack the nearest human. He is old and weak and his bones crunch delightfully. Your audience screams grow louder. Applause! You think, hey, this is actually pretty fun. I should have taken revenge like this a lot sooner. As you continue your bloodthirsty dance, striking the villagers down, you fail to notice a sword-wielding hero running towards you. He takes you out and it's... My head! Oh my god! He takes you out in one swift blow. You're just a demon underling after all. As you die, you think that was totally worth it. The curtain closes. Performer! We got the performer one. We got a new ending though. That's honestly what I really wanted. I just want some new endings. I want new endings. Okay, we're gonna try again. This time we're not gonna eat her. I wanna see if we can become the overlord. We're still gonna say let's overthrow her, but we're not gonna eat the girl this time. Okay, tell her to quit yelling. We're gonna go back to the castle now. What's gonna happen to her? The overlord nods, says everything's cool. Okay, so she forgave us still. Let's see. All right, friends are waking me up. All right, let's do it. Let's kill the overlord. You tell them you were just joking and clarify that you're totally in it to win it. They say you were always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the overlord, you know how bad it would end up on the wrong side of things. And if this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of fox confidence, you worry about what you're getting yourself dragged into. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any idea how they want to go about this. They figured they'd just lock her in a room and set it on fire. What a stupid plan. That could go wrong in so many ways. You realize your friends are just a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without someone's guidance. Your guidance. There'd probably be casualties if you fought her head on. And while showy does make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun, it's probably the wrong way to go. Your friends agree and suggest that you play the assassin. You really didn't want it to come to this, but you don't want to back down now. You'll have to be the one to assassinate the overlord. Besides, no one has any better ideas. You sneak into the overlord's room. She's taking a nap, like usual. This is almost too easy. You silently approach your master. She looks so peaceful. Time to die or chicken out. Let's kill her. Let's do it. You figure the cleanest way to do this would be to dig your claws into her throat, so you did just that. She wakes, but not in time to stop you. You watch as she chokes on her blood, cursing you, before finally expiring. That felt terrible. You remind yourself that it was either her or you, and you weren't about to let yourself get killed by anyone. You leave the room to find your friends waiting just outside. They look pleased. Only now do you realize they must have planned to use you like this from the beginning? You are the new ruler of this castle. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that they will one day betray you, as you had betrayed your overlord. Ooh, we became the overlord, or the underlord. Overlord, what is it? What is it called? Overlord. That was so cool. Okay, let's see what happens if we don't betray her. Same thing, but we don't betray her. Okay, we're gonna tell her to quit yelling. We're still friends with her. Blah, blah, blah. All right, my friends are waking me up. Okay, let's kill the overlord. So I am still gonna do that. Okay, let's see. Chicken out. You don't want to kill her. You can't go through with it. You turn to leave the room, but you find your friends blocking the exit. In a panic whisper, you ask them to let you out. This seems to have been their way of testing your loyalty. You tell them this is pretty fucked up and ask again to be let out. The overlord stirs in her bed. While your head is turned, the demons shut the door. You scramble into the overlord's closet to hide before she wakes up and sees you. There's nothing you could possibly say to explain this and survive. You're trembling. You can't believe these assholes would bully you like this. You feel like crying. Light flickers at your feet. It doesn't take you long to realize they've set the room on fire. You hear the overlord trying to get the door open to no avail. You're both trapped. You're too afraid to move. You resign yourself to your fate. You and the overlord burn together. Ooh, cowardly ending. Okay, what if I'm gonna make the hero trusting? So the hero's trusting, maiden's obedient, I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna get rid of disloyal, but he's gonna stay hungry. Tyrant, I'm gonna get rid of antisocial. So she's a tyrant, the underling's hungry, maiden's obedient, hero is trusting. We're gonna do hero again. We're gonna skip all this. Okay, he's gonna slaughter the evil creatures. Let's see, you feel much stronger. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. You are faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters, so we're gonna cut through the demon army. You gather your strength. This is what must be done in order to rescue the maiden. These are all evil demons anyway. The world is much safer with them gone. That's what you tell yourself while you kill one after another on your way to the Overlord's chambers. The Overlord appears, demanding to know what the hell you're doing murdering all her soldiers. You get straight to the point and ask her where the maiden is. She feigns ignorance, a convincing act, but you won't be fooled. If the maiden isn't here, then what happened to her? You can see only one answer. The Overlord definitely captured her. In fact, it's possible she's already been devoured. Thinking about that poor maiden's fate fills you with hatred. You fight the Overlord with everything you've got. You've become strong from the hordes of demons you took down before this final battle. The Overlord is almost no match for you. You cut her to pieces. The Overlord has fallen. You breathe a sigh of relief, but your job is not yet finished. You search the castle. Unfortunately, you find no sign of the maiden within the walls. Oh no! It's just as you suspected. She must have already been devoured. You feel hollow. A great evil has been banished from this world, but what does that matter if you were too weak to save someone? You stand alone amidst the carnage and ponder what it means to be a hero. You return to the Overlord's remains and wrap her head in your cape to bring back to the village. Surely your great victory will be celebrated. Failed hero end. We got a new ending. Okay, well, if he killed her, I'm curious what that does for the underling story. Let's go back to this story really quick. Okay, we already know about this. Let's see. Let's not. So I made him loyal. I took away the disloyal trait. So he doesn't want to kill her. We're gonna go, let's see. He's not gonna gobble up the maiden either. We're just gonna have him talk. So let's see. Tell her to quit yelling. Quit your yapping. Wait a minute. Actually, I probably should have gobbled her up because I want him to kill. Dang it. I don't know. We'll see. Hang on. We'll see. Maybe I didn't ruin anything. We'll see. Okay, here we go. After a few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. You emerge from your room to find that a hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk. So we've already did the avenge one, but we haven't done the save yourself one. You look around at the lifeless forms of those you've known as far back as you can remember. You feel glad to not be in their shoes. You also feel guilty to be thinking that as you flee the castle, until you remember your role, not as an underling, but as a demon. This kind of thing is expected of you. Maybe you'll start a new life, far away from any other humans or demons, where you'll live peacefully alone in some deep dark forest somewhere. We got a new ending. Deserter underling end. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time, but this time, we're gonna make the girl leave. We're gonna eat her. We're gonna gobble her up. So what happens? Oh, I didn't mean to say overthrow her, but that's fine. That's fine. I don't think that's gonna mess with anything. Okay, gobble her up. Go back to town. Now, wait a minute. Can I put on a show since he's looking for the girl? Maybe? I don't know. We're gonna change our mind and leave first because we haven't done that yet. You figure if people are this upset at just the sight of you, they won't fully appreciate any terrible acts you'd commit. Also, they might fight back. That probably wouldn't end well. You're just one little underling after all. This little day out has been adequately refreshing. You return to the castle thinking you'll take a nap. Okay, and then this happens again. Okay, and he still defeats our friends. So we still run away. It's the same end, so it really doesn't matter. Okay. Let's... maiden? Maiden? I don't know. Let's see what the maiden does. Okay, maiden. What can we change about the maiden? Let's see. Introduce yourself. Let's introduce ourselves. We're polite. You tell the demon your name. That's right. Oh no, that's right. The demon eats me. No. No. Forgot about that. Okay, let's try the Overlord again. We're the Overlord. We're a tyrant, though. Okay, what if we don't let him leave? So get back to work, because she's a tyrant. So now he can't leave. Aha! A hero has shown up and started totally murdering your soldiers. What the hell, guy? You rush out into the battlefield to confront this jerkwad. You curse at him and very rudely inquire his reasons for doing all this. The hero yells at you, demanding you return the maiden you're holding capture. You don't know what he's talking about, but you can't forgive his actions. You do battle with the hero, but he has grown strong from cutting down your army. You are unable to defeat him. Oh no! With decisive swings, he stabs and cuts you to pieces. You fall. You have failed your subjects. You spit curses weakly. You wish you'd been stronger. Maybe you were never suited to be the Overlord in the first place. The truth was, you were never that much more powerful than the demons who served you. It was the title, the control that gave you strength. These are your thoughts as you are swallowed by darkness. Alright, another achievement though. Another ending. Conquered Overlord. Okay, we've gotten 15 out of 41 of the endings. This is getting good. Let's see. What if... I don't want him to be disloyal. We're gonna get rid of hungry as well. What if we do coward? So if we make him a coward, we make her possessive. Get rid of tyrant. Let's see. What if we make the maiden obedient? We're gonna make the hero, trusting. We're gonna make him trusting. Let's see. Who should we start with first? I suppose we should start with the hero, maybe. So the hero is trusting. So this time, let's see, flee like a coward. So he's gonna flee this time. He's not gonna fight them. Let's see, and then he's, let's see. We're gonna do ask if we'll let them in. We're gonna be nice and see what happens. They let us in. Okay, sweet. We're in. We see that she's here. Let's see, destroy the Overlord. We're gonna ask the maiden what's going on. Okay. Wait! You leave me no choice. The Overlord pauses before suddenly jumping you. You are helpless as she dissembles you with her claws. How horrible, you came all this way only to be met with this cruel fate. That's right, I made her possessive! You should have destroyed these evil creatures while you had the chance. Your dying wish is for the maiden to somehow make it out of this alive. Naive hero end. Oh, well, it's fine though, because we got a new ending, which is what I'm wanting. I want new endings. We're gonna leave this. We're gonna leave that as trusting. Get rid of diplomatic. Coward, possessive. Now we're gonna go back to the maiden, maybe? Let's go back to the maiden. Now he's not gonna eat her, so we can get past this part. Let's see, introduce yourself. Beautiful. Okay, as it turns out, she commanded her demons to avoid towns and villages. She didn't want to risk giving the humans any excuse to send a hero after them. You realize that must be why you've never heard of any demons attacking your town. You express your gratitude to the Overlord on behalf of your village. You kind of like not being told to expect demons to come after you all the time. You feel free. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with this Overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. As you think that, a hero enters the room. You're surprised to see him at first until you realize he must have been sent to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks, "What's going on?" You explain the situation, so she reassures him. The hero expresses his relief. You apologize for causing trouble. Uh-oh, the Overlord objects to the hero's suggestion. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all, and if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You leave me no choice. The Overlord suddenly jumps to Hero. She tears into him with her claws. You want to cry out, but the scream catches in your throat. You watch, because you can't look away. Had she really been lying to you all along? You wonder, is this your punishment for questioning the divine plan? The Overlord approaches you now. You back yourself into a corner. Her expression is complicated. Being captured by the Overlord in a horrible way like this was your destiny after all. He vows to keep you very safe from now on. You're afraid to find out what that means, but there's only one left to save you. But there's no one left to save you. You belong to the Overlord now. Okay, another new ending. Captured Maiden end. That one was awesome. Okay, so she got captured. Okay, what if we make her a tyrant then instead of possessive? I just want to keep the Overlord alive. I just want to keep her alive. How do I do that? How do I keep her alive? How do I do that? How do I do that? Now we're gonna go to the maiden. Then I think I need to go back to the hero, but I'm not sure. Shout for hero to come save you. So she's gonna shout for him to come save you. Let's see. They seem to be more confused and hostile, which totally catches you off guard. Okay, so the demon's not mad. Get through all this. All right, here we go. Here we go. So the hero's here. His clothes are stained by a dark liquid. It's dripping from his weapon too. You realize it must be demon blood. Something horrible has happened. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you were never in any danger. The Overlord has walked past the hero and out into the hall. She's wailing. You can only guess what kind of horrible scene he's left for her. The Overlord tears the hero apart in retaliation. You watch silently, unable to scream. The Overlord, who you had just been getting along with so well, has killed another human right in front of you. It's clear now that you had been deceived by her sweet words. Demons are ruthless monsters after all. Did she not forget? Did she not forget that he just killed a whole bunch of her people, a whole bunch of her demons for no reason? And she's mad that the Overlord killed him after killing them? Oh my god, she's not who I thought she was. She's such a liar. Oh my god, ridiculous, ridiculous. You somehow managed to slip past the Overlord and make it out of the blood-soaked castle. You never look back. Escaped maiden end. Sweet, so we got another ending. So the maiden escaped. Go back to the hero. Going back to the hero. Okay, we're gonna slaughter them. Okay, what if we slaughter them but ask if we can be let in this time? So we slaughtered the first ones but not the second ones. What does that do? Okay, you find the maiden being held captive, but for some reason you can't sense anything sinister happening. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. Destroy the Overlord or ask the maiden what's going on? We're gonna ask what's going on. Okay, there's no danger. The Overlord moves past you. It doesn't matter though because I still slaughtered some of them, so I think I still die. Wait. Stab the Overlord while you can. This is all a misunderstanding. I don't know. This is all a misunderstanding? What happens if it says that? You hope she'll let this whole thing slide if you could just explain yourself. You really try, but the Overlord is inconsolable. Tragic hero end. I mean, we got another ending, but dang, I didn't want that one. Okay, we're gonna try this again. But this time we're gonna stab her in the back, maybe? See what that does. So let's see. He slayed the first ones, but not the second one. Okay, that was the difference. Okay, ask the maiden what's going on. Okay, stab the Overlord in the back. Here we go. You lunge forward, driving your blade through the evil Overlord. She screams, then falls silent. The Overlord has been slain. You smile, offering the maiden your hand. She takes it after slight hesitation. She must be surprised at how strong you are. You escort the maiden home. She's oddly quiet on the trek back to the village. She must be too shy to speak. The villagers are very pleased with what a good job you've done, slaying the Overlord and saving a hostage. They throw a huge celebration in your name. You're remembered for generations as the greatest hero the village has ever seen. Ooh, triumphant hero end. Would that be a good end? I feel like that would be considered a good end, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna be the Overlord again. I think we need to send her away. We're gonna send her away. Tell him to go back to work. Let's see, she brought the maiden. Let's see, tell her she better go home. She didn't listen, did she? Okay, hero's here. She's gonna kill him because she saw what he did to her demons. Oh, wait, he stabs her in this one. He stabs her, that's right. That's right, humans can't be trusted. You should have remembered that before letting one in. You watch as the hero takes the maiden's hand, leading her through the sea of corpses he'd left in his wake. Captured by a demon, at least she got what she came here for. You join your army in eternal slumber. Okay, slain Overlord end. That was another ending. All right, let's do the Overlord again. Not the Overlord, hang on. All right, let's go back to the maiden, and we're actually gonna leave this time. Okay, let's see. Ask for a hero. Okay, obey her, refuse to leave. We're gonna obey her. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He's covered in demon blood. You are frightened by the sight of him and run away. You return to your village. I think this is where I get... Yep, this is where they burn me at the stake. So we've had this ending. Executed maiden end. So now that I leave, I feel like... I don't know. I feel like the hero should maybe, I don't know, maybe not slay anybody this time, maybe? Okay, flee like a coward. Now he's gonna talk to her. Okay, he's gonna believe her story. I remember this, and then she like randomly runs and it catches on fire. And we've already seen this end, so I'm just gonna skip all this. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to her though and see if we can make her not run, because I don't think we tried this yet. Okay, let's see. Shout for a hero to come save you. Obey her. All right, here we go. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He asks you what you're doing. You explain everything that happened. He is very surprised that demons don't seem to be as malicious as you were raised to believe. The two of you return to the village, hoping to communicate this to everyone. They had all been so worried and are very glad that the hero brought you back. You quickly set the record straight. You weren't rescued because there was nothing to be rescued from. The villagers seem confused and look to the hero for an explanation. He tells them he only ran into you on his way to the castle and that this isn't really a story to tell. You explain to them how you met the Overlord and that she's not actually interested in capturing maidens. The villagers look again to the hero for confirmation. You feel a little miffed that they seem to prefer his word over yours, but you don't say anything about it. The hero proclaims that he believes your story, but volunteers to go talk to the demons himself just to make absolutely sure. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You hear words like trickery, demon sympathizer, being thrown around, what makes you frown. You're pretty shocked that everyone's this hesitant to believe you. Does the hero even trust you? You aren't even sure anymore. An old man implores the hero to go speak with the Overlord immediately. He said you should be held prisoner and considered dangerous until the hero returns. Much to your disbelief, the crowd agrees with him. Because, of course, if you were conspiring with the demons, they can't afford to let their guard down. The whole village would be slaughtered by monsters. The hero isn't saying anything. You'll be tied up and tossed into a cell at this rate. If you're going to be held captive by anyone, it's going to be the Overlord, not your fellow countrymen. Grab the hero and run, leave on your own. Let's do the hero this time. You boldly announce that you'll accompany the hero to prove yourself. You'd rather risk what's out there instead of staying in a village that doesn't trust you. No one seems to know how to react. You grab the hero by the wrist and take off before anyone stops you. But as you approach the castle, you notice something's gone terribly wrong. It appears to be set on fire. Is the Overlord all right? You have to be sure everyone is safe. You've already taken off before the hero can even think of stopping you. You scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the Overlord's room, but the door is shut tight. The handle is too hot to touch. You're too weak to force it open. You pound your fists against the door helplessly. What were you thinking? This is all because you'd forgotten your role. Only a hero could pull this kind of thing off. Start to cough. The smoke is too thick. You can hardly breathe. You realize you haven't got so much time left now. You desperately head toward the stairs to save yourself. But the fire spread faster than you expected. You won't make it outside. You can't help but laugh. What a joke. A maiden saving the Overlord. If you just stayed to your role, things wouldn't have ended like this. This is exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. You let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. Selfless maiden end. Okay. Well, maybe she said this is a job for a hero, so maybe we need to be the hero now since she's gonna grab his hand and take him with her. Maybe we can choose to go with her. Let's see. Okay, as you stand there not sure what to do, the maiden announces that she's going to prove her story to the village. She drags you along with her. She has much better odds with you around. But you don't object. Adventure awaits. But about halfway there, the maiden suddenly stops. Something's not right. Oh, the Overlord's castle is engulfed in flames. She suddenly takes off toward the burning castle. Panic sets in and you follow to try to stop her. The smoke is so thick you've already lost sight of her. What is she thinking? It's too dangerous to continue. You feel helpless. You stand alone at the castle gates. Your body won't allow you to take another step forward. No, going in there would be suicide. You'll return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. Dang. So, he doesn't go in to save her, but why not? Maybe the underling can help? Maybe if we keep him loyal? Let's see, let's not. Okay, tell her to stop. We're not gonna eat her. Now hang on a second. We're gonna do the one where he says that he'll do it. He's gonna say, let's kill the Overlord, but he's not really gonna do it. We want him to be locked in the room again. I have maybe another idea. Maybe. Wait, hang on. You and your friends turn and notice a pair of humans have overheard your entire conversation. They take off into the castle. Are they headed to the Overlord's room? Fuck. The Overlord will kill you for sure if she found out you were conspiring to take her out. You dash into the castle after the humans. Sure enough, the maiden's already frantically telling the Overlord everything. You shout that the humans are liars. Your friends soon arrive to back you up, except they don't. Instead, they blame the whole thing on you. They cry that it was all your idea and that they were just going with the flow, too scared to refuse your crazy plan. You can't believe they tell the Overlord such a blatant lie. You always knew better than to trust them. You're the one who didn't have a choice here. You all shout at each other until the Overlord demands silence. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone, to keep you all in your place. Crushed beneath my heel. She sounds tough, but lately all she does is sleep. You doubt her strength. You hear your traitorous friends mutter something about going back to a plan A, and suddenly the door slams shut. You're trapped in here with the Overlord and the two humans. And then the room bursts into flames. You pound on the door, screaming curses at those who betrayed you. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them. You wish he'd got the chance. The Overlord grabs you by the throat. You cry for mercy. You were forced into this mess. You're sure now that they would have killed you if you'd sided with her. But the Overlord doesn't hear your pleas. She drives her claws into your chest. At least she made it quick. Oh, traitor! The traitor end. That was awesome. All right, so what if we're the Overlord now? Let's do it. Let's do it. We tell him to get back to work. We're gonna keep that the same. We're also gonna make her leave. Tell her she better go home. Here we go. All right. The maiden suddenly bursts into your room, accompanied by a hero. She's trying to frantically communicate something to you, but you're still half asleep. They tell you a group of demons is after your life. You still don't grasp the urgency of the situation. One of the underlings barges in next, shouting that the humans are liars. They're followed by another group of demons crying that everything was the first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting at each other, and it's very annoying. You yell for all of them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambition cloud their judgment and lead them to try to take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. Saying that made you feel very Overlord-like. You aren't sure if you have the strength to back it up, though. Lately, all you do is sleep. The group of demons start muttering something about going back to Plan A and suddenly slam your door shut. You, the maiden, the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. The underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So we already know about this. And then she's gonna kill him. Okay, she kills him. You almost feel sorry for them. Let's see. Take retribution, forgive them. What if we forgive them? What happens if we forgive them? You realize the underling killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You all burn together. Overlord's true end. We got her true end? No way! Before you're taken back to the reset of the story once again, you pause for a moment. True end, you say to yourself? What was the point of all my effort if the true end is this terrible? You must have forgotten where you were. This is bad in theater. I love this. Is the pain setting in? Oh, but you should have been well aware of what you'd be shown when you entered this place. It's a problem I've seen quite often. At some point, you grow attached to my little cast. You start to relate to their flaws, their plights. You started wishing for all their happiness. But you aren't going to find that here in my theater. My lovingly crafted labyrinth of suffering. Anyway, I hope you'll pardon the interruption. You're making great progress. The choice to continue on to the next ending is always yours. I'll leave you to it, dear guest. That was awesome. So we got her true end. And we opened up merciful. Okay, hang on one moment. I want to see what happens if she's not merciful, though, just to see what that is for her. All right, take retribution. You pierce their chest with your claws. They scream. The hero backs away. He is wise not to interfere. They've stopped moving, but you keep digging and twisting your claws into them. It doesn't make you feel any better. The underling's corpse burns along with you and the two humans. Spiteful Overlord end. Okay, before I call it quits, I want to see... I'm going to watch them one more time since they're going to be in there with her. He says that if this is the true nature of the demons, the world is better off Without them, this isn't right. This isn't right, you think? What kind of hero passes up the chance to save a life? Demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take off in the castle, and the unreliable hero follows shortly after. You burst into the Overlord's room, all your words spilling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. The Overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency. The underling you recognize from before barges in, calling you a liar. You're surprised they were part of this evil plot. They seem so nice. The other demons came in after them, so we already know about this. I'm gonna skip all this. Okay, we're gonna skip all this. Yep, she gets to see her killer. Okay, devout maiden end. Okay, reset the stage. We're gonna do the hero, because I wonder, maybe the hero can choose not to go inside. Will that change the story? All right, so now they're in here together. All right, no, now they're listening to the demons. She goes in. Actually, I don't think it lets us choose, so we might be stuck here too. Yeah, so he's stuck here too. We can't choose to... He can't choose to not go with her to tell the Overlord of their plan. So that is the resigned hero end. Dang. Dang, 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 dang. Okay. I made her merciful again. I went back. So now let's go to the underling. Let's see if that changes the underling. What if he's loyal this time? Does that make a difference now? Let's see. Let's not. So we want to make him loyal. Let's not overthrow her. Okay, what if... All right, let's kill the Overlord. They overhear him. But this might be a different ending because she spares his life this time. Okay, the Overlord grabs you by the throat. You cry for mercy. You were forced into this mess. To your surprise, the Overlord spares you. Or maybe she'd rather see you suffer instead. Looking around, you've just gone from one dead end to another. The maiden is crying. The hero is silent. You all burn together. No! That was the underling's true end. So we got two true endings. They were meant to die together. So that means, I wonder if that means that the true ending of the maiden and the hero are also gonna correspond. Okay, well, I'm gonna end it here. We found the underling's true ending and the Overlord's true ending. I think that is progress. We found 2 out of the 4. That's 50-50. I'm very happy. I like the game. I have no complaints. I mean, it was funny. It made me laugh. I truly enjoyed the story. And I thought it was unique too. I enjoyed it. And I also wasn't expecting, I know it's called Bad in Theater, but I was actually thinking that the true endings would have been happy, even though it's called Bad in Theater. So I did fall for that. I did fall for the title. But anyways, let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see all of the endings. If you'd like to see me, I should say, do all the endings, or if there's any other games you'd like me to play, be sure to comment those down below. And I hope I see you guys for my next video. Bye!